We've introduced the hypothesis on this show that Republican Speaker of the House John Boehner is bad at his job. It's not about whether he's a good guy, whether he has good or bad ideas, or even whether or not what he's trying to accomplish as Speaker is good for the country. It's about whether he's good at being Speaker. It's about whatever his agenda, whatever he wants, is he skilled enough to reach his goals? Can he do it? Is he good at his job or bad at his job? As Speaker of the House, John Boehner is the most high-profile Republican in the country. He's one of the only Republicans other than chairman of the Republican National Committee, the very famous Reince Priebus, who has a national position. Mr. Boehner is the face of the Republican Party. What House Republicans do under his leadership establishes how America thinks about Republicans heading into the presidential election year. And so under that kind of pressure, one way to be a good speaker, one way to be good at that job is to make sure that when the eyes of the nation are upon you, you are not caught out being really petty. You may feel petty, but try not to show it. Rise to the occasion. Members of your caucus may have petty instincts, but be their leader. Stop them from putting their pettiness on parade. Yesterday in the House Energy and Commerce Committee, they held a hearing that was titled, "The Consequences of Obamacare." That is not the shorthand nickname. That is not the shorthand nickname for the hearing. The committee actually put Obamacare in the title. That's like if you were the University of Michigan and you were hosting your big rivals, Ohio State, but instead of putting Buckeyes up on the scoreboard, you put Suckeyes up on the scoreboard. Ha ha! Hilarious. Also, petty. House Republicans keep doing stuff like this. Let's have a hearing where we call it Obamacare. Even their bill, their repeal health reform bill, was not called the Repeal the Affordable Health Care for America Act. They called it the Repealing the Job-Killing Health Care Law Act. Republicans' report about health reform was titled Obamacare, a budget-busting, job-killing health care law. These are the actual formal titles. Suckeyes! Over and over again, they keep proposing or doing stuff in the House under John Boehner's leadership that just isn't ready for prime time. For example, Republican Congressman Aaron Schock of Illinois put forward a resolution to ban signage anywhere in the country that would identify any project as being funded by the stimulus. Ha ha! Suckeyes! At the same time, you had California Republican Congressman Darrell Issa threatening to launch an investigation into signage on Stimulus Act projects. We'll not only tear down the signs so nobody knows what the stimulus is funding, we'll investigate the signs too. We'll subpoena the signs. This is sort of what the House is like under Speaker Boehner. It's like JV. It's spitball time. Another example, there are more than 100 cities, not all of which rhyme with San Francisco, which ban styrofoam food packaging. You know how McDonald's doesn't even use it anymore? That's because styrofoam practically has the half-life of nuclear waste. Its toxic components leach into the food it holds. You can't even find this stuff at McDonald's, but you know where you can find it now? At the House cafeteria. Because mean old Nancy Pelosi took away that precious styrofoam, and the House Republicans made it an urgent priority to kill the biodegradable food packaging program. And they killed it. And John Boehner's press secretary cheered it this week with this tweet. The new majority, plasticware is back, along with a picture of styrofoam. Suckeyes! Woo! The petty parade extends all the way to how they're actually doing business, the business of Congress. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton flew back from Geneva to appear before the new House Committee on Foreign Affairs yesterday to answer questions about all of the myriad things going on in foreign policy right now. She was supposed to be answering questions, but under John Boehner's leadership in the House, the Foreign Affairs Committee instead just sat her there and fired long-winded questions at her and would not allow her to answer those questions.
I feel strongly that we're making an impact on the ratings.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, and I respectfully request written responses as you offered to the questions that you were not able to answer because I asked so many.
Certain organizations and individuals, we do it on a case-by-case basis.
I'm going to be a little ruthless because we want to get all of our members in.
Understood.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I know my good friend understands.
Try to help those who are inside, standing up for
Madam
human
Secretary.
rights.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I do apologize. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
So it's important we keep doing that. It's forced sterilization. It's forced abortion.
I'm sorry, Madam Secretary.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Mr. Ackerman, the ranking member on the Subcommittee on Middle East and South Asia, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Just when it was getting good.
Thanks for flying back from Geneva. We didn't actually leave any time to hear what you had to say. We're just going to talk on our side instead, Madam Secretary of State. So let us add this additional data to the John Boehner is bad at his job hypothesis. It is not yet a theorem. It is still just a hypothesis. But let this be open for discussion. One of the ways John Boehner is a bad Speaker of the House, one of the ways he does not represent the interests he's supposed to be representing, is that he has allowed the House under his leadership to behave in a manner that is exactly as petty as they feel. Having petty impulses, feeling snot-nosed and vindictive in your worldview, that is something I have a lot of sympathy for. Deep down inside where it counts, I am as petty and immature and vindictive as it gets. But if I were a member of Congress, I would expect the leadership to stop me from showing it every day at work. Suckers! Don't do that.